Certainly more on the news at 10, but this time from our Abuja studios. Over to you, Linda.
Thank you, Sulaiman, and welcome to the nation's capital. The House of Representatives Committee on Public Accounts has given the Minister of Aviation, Diezani Alison Madueke, 1 week to put forward all information in her possession regarding the transaction on the chartered private jets, which she was said to be using to enable the committee carry out the upcoming probe into the matter. The committee wrote to the minister alongside the Group Managing Director of NNPC, Mr. Andrew Yakubu, Vista Jet International, Evergreen Aviation Terminal, operators of the private jets, and the Federal Aviation Authority of Nigeria, FAN. The minister is expected to furnish the committee with all she knows about the transactions on the private jets, and if, as a minister, she is entitled to such chartered private jets for private use, who is responsible for the bills, and whether or not she has breached public service rules. The Group Managing Director, NNPC, is to forward in written form to the lawmakers all information relating to the deal from 2011 till date, the level of involvement of the corporation, the contractual agreement between the corporation and the operators of the private jets, and its financial commitment to it since 2011 till date, among others. The committee is requesting from the private jets operators the contracts agreement between them and the NNPC from 2011 till date, all the flight schedules, the passengers manifest from 2011 till date, and the amount of money paid to them during the period under review. Confirming the directive to the minister and other groups, a member of the committee, Representative Zakari Mohammed, said the probe of the chartered private jets, which is said to be costing the country billions of naira, is expected to commence before the end of April. A bill to amend the 2010 Electoral Act to put the burden of proving the regularity of any election on the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has passed second reading in the Senate. The sponsor of the bill, Senator Hadi Sirika, in his debate, said the responsibility of proving the regularity of an election ought to be the duty of the body or organization that arranged for the conduct of the election and thereafter conducted the said election. But the federal lawmaker, Senator Heineken Lobobiri, disagreed, saying the bill is at variance with the laws of the country.
Colleagues, it is no doubt that the process of proving the regularity or otherwise of the conduct of an election is one process that is highly burdensome and ought not to be placed or vested on the petitioner who did not conduct the election but only participated in it. Although it may be a settled matter under the law of evidence that he who asserts must prove, however, this bill seeks otherwise, that the body of proof of the regularity of the conduct of an election must first of all shift to the body that conducts the election. The burden of first proof having been discharged by INEC will then shift to the petitioner who alleged that the election was not properly conducted.
Mr. President, our legal system, and perhaps the legal system in the Commonwealth nations, is such that it is the party who asserts that proves. That proves. If I say that Mr. A is a thief, the onus is not shifted to Mr. A to prove that he's not a thief. It is the person who is alleged that will prove it. That is the way our legal system in Nigeria, our legal system that is in consonance with the legal system across the Commonwealth countries.
A fresh crisis seems to be brewing in the Ogun State chapter of the People's Democratic Party as two aspirants to the governorship seat trade allegations of threat to life ahead of the primaries of the party holding on Saturday. Camps of different governorship aspirants have been at loggerheads, which almost degenerated into physical brawls earlier in the week. Our next story takes a look at the situation in the state chapter of the party.
The April 5th primaries of the People's Democratic Party is just around the corner, where they will determine who becomes the party's flag bearer in the forthcoming governorship elections in Ogun State. Sequence to this, a pre-Congress meeting was held between the party's governorship aspirant, national and state party officials, but this did not go well. Channels Television gathered that the meeting almost degenerated into fisticuffs between the camps of two of the PDP aspirants, Senators Isiaka Adeleke and Iyola Omishere.
He held me like that. Omishere came from the back and was hitting me. I just did this. I held my hand up like that with about 7 guns pointed at me, cocked and pointed at my head. From, I think, 5 SSS and 2 policemen.
He harassed the minister, pointing fingers at his nose, that if he thought because he was made the minister of police, he could terrorize the people with his policemen, that, that would be very unfortunate, and he started vowing that he would make sure he was removed.
Senator Adeleke ascribes his alleged assault to mean that other camps are getting jittery and are resulting to physical intimidation.
You know you're going to win an election. I don't think you want to disrupt that election. But if you know you're losing an election, that's when you want to cause all kinds of problems. They've seen the handwriting on the wall. All of them are for Omishere, and they know Omishere has lost out. So the next thing to do is to try to intimidate people.
The primary is on the 5th of August. How can somebody who has been in the race for quite some time, some months, be afraid of primaries? We would rather throw it back that Senator Adeleke is the one that just joined about 2 or 3 weeks ago. He was not prepared.
The Osun PDP internal wranglings goes beyond these two camps. Another aspirant who is currently suspended by the party is fighting tooth and nail to get back into the race.
The suspension was significant because I was suspended 26 days to the primaries. I was given a month suspension, and the intention was to make sure that I do not take part in the primaries because of my stand, my very rigid stand that we must be neutral, transparent in the primaries, which the state chairman, Alhaji Gani Olaluwa, was not willing.
Over 900 delegates are expected to participate in Saturday's governorship primaries. How this will turn out cannot be predetermined, but the mounting tensions from the different camps is not convincing delegates that it won't turn out ugly.
More issues emanated today at the ongoing national conference in Abuja, the federal capital city. The debate today centered on security, true federalism and religious tolerance. Our correspondent Larry Lasisi reports.
Now, it's been 3 days of discussions on the president's speech. Delegates have started using the occasion to bring up issues they want the conference to address.
If they go and check history, they will find all those in the native authorities of those provinces. There is clearly delineated cattle routes and mashekare. The better thing would be for them to engage the Fulanis in a discussion and fashion out those areas for them. That, I think, will bring some peace to the North Central.
Some of us here have been beneficiary of the military, have made policy on the military, and yet are saying that the military have failed us. With due respect, you have failed us. And fathers, grandfathers, take a bow and allow the future generation, the youth of this country, to take a step forward.
We don't need to expend and spend public funds for such a gathering. Mr. Chairman, sir, our problems can be sorted out the day we have a proper electoral system where one man, one vote is counted.
The need for religious tolerance was also emphasized.
The debate today really is not about Christianity and Islam. These are elitist debates that are designed to divert our attention away from Nigeria, from the 10% of Nigerians that speak the same language when they go into the boardroom, or when they board their aircraft, or when they have weekend parties.
We would like, if it is possible, this global conference assign a special time. Give the religious leaders time, let them sit and proper solution to this conflict. Let this country move forward. We know we have a bigger evil to fight in this country, and that is injustice.
The issue of feeding of delegates at the conference was a point of debate.
I humbly apply to move a motion that the provision of lunch by the conference management team to the delegates should be stopped in view of the inability of the team to provide for every delegate since the beginning of the conference, despite several complaints to this effect.
The motion was not seconded and was promptly dropped, but the matter came up again after break.
I would suggest when you get such notices, like on the table, you use your discretion to know those that will not embarrass us. Because tomorrow you will see in the papers, confab delegates fight for food.
When we started, there were issues about not having enough or the quality or whatever. But the Secretariat has done something. For the past 2 days now, we are eating Chinese lunch. Yes, so we don't want to discuss it. We want to eat. And the reason why we want to eat is that it affords us opportunity to interact.
I am not in support of anybody monetizing anything. Whatever it is, I will only urge the Secretariat to improve on the service. Thank you very much. We shall continue to improve.
Some of the delegates speak on the day's session.
One of the most significant aspects of today has been some of the interventions by some of the religious leaders today, which we compared with yesterday and the previous days have been more reconciliatory.
All of us are being influenced by the utterances of other delegates. So what you start seeing is that the views are trying to coalesce. People who had some extremist ideas and ideologies and thoughts and so on, based on what they've heard others say, they've understood the limitations of the things that they were first going to propound. And increasingly, we are moving nearer and nearer to coalesce.
Now, the conference has adjourned for the week. It's expected that the discussion will continue on Monday, as many delegates are yet to speak. Lanre Lasese, Channels Television News.
And that's all from Abuja. Back to you, Sulaiman.